Let's see. This is nice. It's interesting. Today, it just connected when I started the stream. I didn't have to wait 5 minutes to do so. So that's a good sign. We need to okay, let's start the project. I didn't expect that app so quickly, so let's open our cursor, application, and open our project and start the development environment. So we have something to look at. Yesterday I was not able to get live. I had a tight deadline for a project that I was working on, and I spent most of yesterday and half of day today finishing that. Yeah. Let's open the folder. But today we will be getting back where we left off with our CMS project. Where is it? So here, users. Okay. Excuse me. Here, users, and let's npm dev. Okay. Let's see. Do I have something open here? No, I have to open something here too. And let's go to our local host 3000. Okay. That was not supposed to be there because I thought I closed it. But let's do it now. Okay. So our project is live. Let's see, admin. And to go to projects. It's just getting started. Okay. Okay, so last time what we worked on was to add those two fields here. The featured image, so we can choose from files or choose from existing files, which is nice. And we have the same for the gallery, so we can either upload or choose from our files, and we can choose multiple, which is nice. I'm blabbing a lot. Okay, one of the things that we will be doing today. So if we go to visit project, we'll get an error because of the WYSIWYG editor. One of the things that we will be doing today is replace this with those projects. So we'll be using like the status, if it's draft or published. We will be displaying them here. But what I noticed here is that if we go to edit one of them, we have like GitHub URL, live URL, technologies, but we don't have any we do not have any like the status of the project. We have only the status if it's draft or if it's published, but we do not have a completed or in progress. So what I will be doing, let's add that field now, and I will probably have like a check mark, like completed, or if it's not completed, we will show in progress, or just have like this one, or just another value here. Let's see. Actually, let's add that check mark. So let's close all of those because I have no idea where I left off. It's been 2 days since I looked at this. So we need to go under our admin project and edit. And let's see. Let's see where we are here. First, we need to update our let's close this, our model to support that. So let's talk with our chat. Hi chat. Want to add a project status, a project completed status field on our project. Edit page. It will be a checkbox. So if the check, so depending if the check box is checked or not, checked or not, we will display a tag on the project, tag on the home. Actually, so we need a couple more fields. This one, sorry to jumping back, and also we need the excerpt, like this one here. We can take the first like couple of sentences or something like that from the content, but that is not great, just because we will have like HTML, like other tags, H1, H2, and so on and so forth, and it will be that thick. So having a dedicated excerpt tab makes more sense. We will display a tag on the home page. So depending if the checkbox, you will display a tag on the the home page. Do not implement the changes. Do not implement the changes. Only tell me how to do it. I realized that last time for the images, I let AI just run with it. I didn't check the code in that depth, and I'll probably have a hard time whenever I have to go back and adjust something. I don't foresee that happening, but I want to understand what I am doing, not only just ask AI to do everything for me. It's just I just lost a bit of patience because this project took me more than I anticipated. But anyways, so I want to see the output and write some of the output by hand, so I get into the habit of creating stuff from scratch, because you can go way faster whenever you have some knowledge about it. Because by the time you ask the AI to write something for you, already wrote it. And I noticed that whenever I am doing something that I know by heart, like if I do some stuff in PHP or in JavaScript, that I know how to do it. I don't have to stop, go to AI, ask it, process it, adjust it, and use it. You just write it, verify it, debug it, and I will have the solution. Anyways, show me how to do it. First, we need to update our model to support this. Hey, Tech Sage, how are you today? I think it's the first time that you've joined my live, so welcome. Support this field. Support. After that, we need to update the API endpoint to be. I'll update our API endpoint, and after that we have to edit the edit UI to add the check box. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's go to our data model and slug title component gallery GitHub URL status. Here will be our completed, and will be a type of boolean, and default will be false. Required is not required, because if it's not true, I'll just default to false. Okay, do we have to add it here? We save. Okay, so we updated our schema. Let's edit our project API. So we go to API. Interesting. I hope you learned something. I am learning NextJS myself. I've been working with React for a couple of projects and for a couple of years. I'm not that proficient because I worked for about a year, and after that I didn't touch it for about 3. And now I want to get back to it and want to learn some Next, since it's like full stack. You can do so you can write APIs, but also you can write the components from the front end. And what I like about it, there are a couple of things. One is that it renders the content on the server, so it serves you in HTML, which is better for SEO than React. Or at least, I have no idea, probably now React is doing better with SEO. But yeah, it's a TypeScript, JavaScript programming language. So, but yeah, I want to get more proficient in it. So that's why I'm making these videos, and hope people will learn alongside with me. Let's see. Auth, not images, log. We have to go to API projects, ID, and route. So, let's see. We need to add our completed constant. Let's see. So not delete. Title, technology, status, draft, request body. So wait. Await project.find. And I'll accept new from required request body. So we check for that. Project find. Find an update. So we have ID and completed here. So we need to add completed here. And we need to add it here to completed is false. And now let's go to the UI. Projects, and this is the UI. So I started working on a personal website. This is the personal website, and I'm working right now on a way to edit those projects from the backend. To have an admin interface, a CMS interface, where I can edit those visually instead of creating nested directories inside of the application for each of the, sorry, I have to mute this so it doesn't distract me. So instead of creating nested directories for each project and also having like long JS files for each one of those, just instead of repeating myself over and over again for each of the files, I opted to create a CMS, which basically gives me an interface where I can create the project, store it into a database, and retrieve that content from the database into a single template file or two, basically, because I have the front page and also the project single project UI. And this is what I have so far. So basically this is how the CMS looks like, or how you can edit a how you can edit the project itself. So you have the title, you have a slug. Also, I created a API for the slug, so it checks against the database, so we don't have duplicates, because the slug will be the URL basically of the project. We have the content, which I added the WYSIWYG editor for it. We have an update, view project status, and other types of things like a featured image where we can choose to update it or choose from the existing files. The same with the gallery, so we can add multiple images and we'll have multiple images displayed on the single. And we have a update project and a view project. So this will go to the project, but right now I have an error on the front end because of the WYSIWYG editor. While I was adding the WYSIWYG editor, I noticed that it was injecting the HTML into the database, which is not a good practice. So I switched from an HTML to an object, and I didn't update the UI since. That's kind of what I'm working right now. And what I'm working right now, what I was creating right now, it's a way to add those here. So I'll have a check mark. If the check mark is completed, means that I completed the project. And if it has the in progress thing, it means that it's not something that I'm currently working on. That's kind of the gist of it. Yeah. So let's do this. Div label. So let's add this. Where should we put this? I think I will add it just underneath the status. No. GitHub, I should add more comments. Content. Okay, so I'm finishing this. And let's add a comment here. Right side, which is really descriptive. Right side. Sidebar. So we have the update component here. We have the status here. And let's add this here too. Ooh, what did I do? That's the thing. What I'm doing right now is redundant because there are amazing CMSs that you can add to redundant in a sense. There are a lot of CMS says that you can add to any React based whatever project. So including the including Next, like content, like you suggested, Contentful or Sitecore, or I have no idea. There are so many, and sorry, there are many, but that I don't know of. I know of some, but I don't have it. I don't have them memorized. Or you can use a headless WordPress installment. So basically you edit all your content in WordPress and you use the WordPress REST API to get the content from. I am not doing it because it's not done. It's already done. I am doing it because I want to learn. That's why I'm doing this. It's not because what I'm doing is something innovative, because it's not. It's just something that I can do to learn how to use or how to develop a more complex application in why do I have wait yeah, so like I said, what I'm doing right now is not that it's innovative. I'm building it just to learn more and to build a more complex application than a simple website, because I think I finished the website in a couple of days. Like if I wanted to stop then, I could have stopped then and just, like I said, add a nested directory inside of the application and just fill it with the projects that I worked on and I'm working now. But I wanted to have something more in depth. So yeah. And also this works on multiple things like API creation, database processing, also data models, and so on and so forth. It's a bit more complex than a simple application. I don't know. Yeah. So let's see. Let's close this because I get a lot of errors. But let's see about this. Option value publish check mark. Oh no. So I'm here. Type project completed, disable if submitting. So this should work. In theory. Let's see. I have register on handle. Okay. Why? It looks so off. Okay. Let's go back. Why is the checkbox after the label? Because this is how this created the checkbox, right? Okay. Okay. Why? Why? Oh, I'm editing in the wrong place. So draft this label. The label is before. And let's do here. Name completed, and for the label before. HTML4. Okay. So whenever I'm clicking this, this will also be clicked, but looks like it doesn't work. Oh snap. Oh snap. Oh, I have to put the input before. Let's do this then. This. And we do not need the span. We do not need the span here. And let's put it here. And here. And at the input before. Name. Probably ID. I can't remember if is the ID. Yes, the ID, not the name. So basically, whenever I'm clicking this, it will also display it. Let's go to Daisy UI and go to inputs checkbox. Primary, secondary. Let's add it the info. Last name. Info. Why are you crashing? Because I have the... This looks so moronic. Anyways, so let's see. Do we have like a height that we can give it? Like, yeah, we can do margin right 2 and a 4 width 4. Yeah, it looks way better. Okay, but let's not do the info. Add the green one, this one. Which one is it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Success. Success. Okay. Great. And let's do class name flex items center gap 2. And if we have gap, we'll just remove the margin from here. Great. Let's now... One other thing that I noticed is that on this pop-up for the search, I have this ugly stuff. So let's go to whatever this is. Should be here. Let's see. Remove. Let's see. Fetch project, generate slug, handle, featured image. I think we have a component for here. Let's see where the search is. Header search. So input Let's go to inputs. Input field. We can have background transparent. So we can actually have, let's see if we do this to the success, input success. So if we do this, where was it here? Input success. And let's refresh this. And did it add it? Input, search image border, input success. But if we do this bordered without border, how will it look like? It will look like before. Input. Okay. Let's see other stuff. Data input, no. Sys. If we do background transparent, now you are talking. Me. And let's remove this ugly border. Or, I think it looks fine, but let's see. Content return. So if it's selected, rounded, we do a MD border. We can do 1 pixel and hover shadow. Yeah, this is better. So let's remove the border for this because it's larger. On the actual image, we'll have rounded MD. So it will have the same roundness. Perfect. It's nice that also it shows me the size of it. Okay. 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 Now that we built this, let's add a excerpt field. So we go back to our model and we create a excerpt field. So schema type mixed. We need a string for this. So we will do out of what we did here. We'll have excerpt and will be type of string required false, stream true, max length 500. I will not put a max length on it. Trim, yes, because just to remove the white space before and after the content. But that's kind of it. So we updated this model. For that, we need to add it to our project API. Excerpt will be nothing, and we will pass it through when we update the project. After that, we need to go to our, excuse me, here. Let's see. I don't think we need anything else. We will check. So let's go to our structure, and we have form. This is the slug, and this is the content. Let's create a div. Okay, so excerpt text. This will be type, not an input, but will be a text area. Text area. With no type, because we do not have a type for text area. It's just a text area. Register excerpt, project apps excerpt, but bordered. We'll have text area, white, disabled, white, disabled on submitting, and we register the excerpt. Okay. Let's see. Oh snap. Come on. Let's do this. Since we modified quite a bit the data model, let's restart the development server. Probably we have a broken HTML. I have no idea. Why is it not loading? Is the same thing here? Okay, so finally loaded, but this is not loading. Probably because of this. Hi. Okay. So let's try again. Okay. Weird. Let's do this. Let's remove the auto-generated from title, because we do not need this. Okay. Okay, we have some nice spacing. We have this and this and this. Now we have everything we need to build the front end. So let's add this. Let's update the project. So refresh, make sure. Yeah, so this is processing, but this is not processing. So let's see. No. Okay, so let's do some debugging. On this, we added the excerpt here. We added the excerpt here on the request JSON. We added the excerpt here. If we go to models, excerpt, let's see. I think what we didn't do is to capture the state of the text area whenever we are modifying it, right? Because so if we go to input register completed, if we go to this input register, interesting. So and let's see if I go to which one is this that we are looking at? EC1E. See, we do have the excerpt, but we are displaying it, not displaying it correctly. So text area, I think our text area is crooked. Let's see, text area. Text area, yes. So let's go back here. Let's see, where am I? Okay. And I think we have the same issue on those other. So if I go here and add like technology, React, update the project, go back. Oh, I do have it here. Just let's see. Set form. Okay. On the excerpt, the value saves, but when I come back, it's not in my. And that's because Texera has a different output than an input. an input has a value, the text area is text area, and inside of it we have sorry, I was looking at inside of the text area, the content, it's between the opening and closing tag. It's not a value, it's not a property. So it says like set value. I don't think we have set value here. We do have set value. Okay. Set content, set featured image. Oh. Asset value. So what it says. You save the excerpt database when you reload edit page, you fetch the project data, but you don't call set value excerpt. After fetch, so if fetch projects find. Okay, so it says set value. Okay, we set the value for the excerpt, but I think this is wrong because there is no value on an excerpt. It's a text area, like I said, and we will do this set value, and I will correct it since this is a text area. I need to output the value between the tags, the text area tags. In React when, so great question. In React, when you are on controlled component, using control component plain HTML, you set value as putting it between the opening tags. However, in React, hook forms register as your code value is merged by the form library, and you should use the default value prop if you want to set an internal value. React hook. Your code is as correct. You do not need to put a value. But see, I added it here. And I still don't have it here. So if we refresh, I did save this. And this is my excerpt. And if we refresh, oh, it worked, but it didn't retrieve the last one. So let's copy and paste this, update the project, make sure it is here. Great. So we have all of this. Now let's create the UI. So on the projects component, so if you go on the project, if you go on the components and home section projects, okay, home section projects, home section projects, project status. Okay. Now, let's do this. Now, on the home section project, we need to get that data. Get that data. Let's do this. Fetch projects. Want to ensure that BI fetches projects from the homepage like a project or similar, includes the completed field. You use Mangus. It happens automatically unless you exclude it. Let's ask something. Let's ask about use effect so we can understand the concept of use effect. Thing is that coming from a PHP, jQuery, JavaScript background, the hooks that React uses to achieve the same thing that JavaScript natively supports are kind of tricky for me, at least to understand. Probably because I'm not that familiar. So, can you explain to me what is effect React hook does? It's used to handle side effect in functional components. A side effect, it's anything that affects something outside the scope of the component. Data fetching, subscriptions, manually changing to DOM, setting up time. So we have to use effect because we are modifying the outside scope of the component, meaning that we have to fetch data from the database. So if you affect the state inside of the component, like changing stuff when user clicks, you use status when you need use status. I think it's sorry, probably I'm yeah, sorry, not status, state. So you use state. If you need to get something outside of the component, you use effect. Like in our case, we need to fetch the data from our database and get it and process it to okay, so and process it, excuse me, and process it on our front end component. So let's delete this project, sorry, because we are not using it anymore. And we do import state. I don't think we use state here. We use effect only. So use effect. Okay. And next we do okay, client side, and we do use effect, and we have fetch project, async, we get constant response await fetch API, constant data await response.json. We do not need to console log this. We do not need to console log this. Okay. But we did state use state and we set the state of the project and we set the project data. Okay, so use effect, fetch projects, fetch, we get the response and we set the response. Projects. Not data. We have this projects. Probably I'm using it. Okay, I think I'm using it wrong here. Let's see. Response. Response, constant project await. Response. Okay. So we set the projects here. And we have projects. Oh, sorry. We have projects. Dot map project project. I think it's title. Yes. And we have project excerpt file title excerpt. And we have project. We do not use the index, looks like. Project. And the key will be project ID. So we have a unique identifier. And project. So we have this method and we have project completed. Okay, so we call this great. So we need to add those here. But Okay, and let's do that. And we should have one project. We do not have any. Back to admin. So constant. So wait. With my component, it doesn't return any project. Check data fetching example client side. So on check data fetching or yeah, so I'm actually never calling this function. So probably that's the issue. Probably not. So that was the issue because I was never calling. What I need to do now is that let's only fetch or filter. Let's see. Only fetch the projects that the status is published. So in our is infect, can we only get the projects with the status published? Yeah, absolutely. So fetch use effect. So let's do this. And we have use effect and we have fetch API projects. Then response or rest JSON. To server side, recommend that if you control the API, it's better to only return the published projects in the backend. For example, in your API route, wait projects, then in your component, pass a query parameter. You can also pass a query parameter in your API and only get the published on client to get published. And on API handle request filter equals its status. Yeah, this is better. So let's do this. And we do this status. Because I don't want, so the first suggestion was to get all and get all projects and filter them after you get them, which is not good. I want to only get from the database the published ones. So this, and we go into the auth projects route. Which API am I using here? Sorry. So API projects. So basically this one. And we do get, so okay, where should I add the query RAM on the projects API? Good question. Locate function get request. Okay. This is my get request. This is my get request. Perfect. So instead of try, we do constant search the one accept request parameter. You need to accept request parameter. Okay. Export a async function get request, and we do next search params equals with new URL request. Next we do status, and we get the status. Okay. Next, build the filter. So let filter equals with an empty object, and we have if status filter equals status. Update the filter. Project.find filter. Sort by created at, which is good. Filter next response projects. Okay. So theoretically, now I should get only one of the projects. And if it was not snapping on me, Great. And now if we go back to our this and we update this from draft to published and we refresh our page, we should have two. Yay, two. Question. I don't like that this is shifting, right? Is there a way to load those on server so we don't have screen shifting screen? Yeah, pretty vague. Generating. Absolutely, to avoid shift screening content layout shift caused by client-side fetching, you should fetch your project on server side. Get server-side props, get static props, server component. How to fetch projects on the server? A server component. So by default, component app are server components unless you use client on top. You can use await at top level if you fetch from the same domain. Sure, no client. So if I go here and we do not do this, we do not use state, only use effect. We do not use set projects. We do not use this because we have data here, but we can't put it under projects, right? We already used this. No. So let's see. Instead of use effect, probably we don't need use effect. So let's do this then. Default function, and we have response vim constant response equals with await fetch projects. Await expresses only allowed using async export. Default async function. Let's see, how many errors do I get? Response and should be good, right? Failed to parse URL. Let's do this. Next, solution 1, use absolute URL. Update your fetch call. Solution 2, request object relative URL with headers. Okay. So if we do this constant response equals headers, I still get 500. If we go to our environment, we do not have that set. So let's Google server. Yet do I need to use so path to path server NextJS. Do I to use API? Okay, so let's do this. Let's set the next public base URL and environment local. Okay. After that, we go back here and we do this, which is a bit weird in a sense. And now it works. No more content shifting. Yay! So we do not load that async, we load it synchronously with the server and is as fast as it was before with async. I am curious to see the URL. So URL is not project, not live URL, but we will do something like this. How should we do this? Because I can add like slash project and the slug, which I will probably do. Or let's see, how do I compose this view project? View project API route. No, not route. I have admin, edit, page.js. View project. So I have it like this, which I will do so here too. Excuse me. Home section project URL. So we can go to this page that gives me an error, and this one too. Okay, so I will stop here now. Already streamed for an hour and a half, and I need to get back to some work. This was fun, and I will be continuing tomorrow with creating the project UI, which has some interesting components to add. And I think after I finish with the with that UI, I will be done with this for now. I do not think. Hey, Felix, or Felix. Yeah. Well, I am about to get out. If you have any questions, actually, before I close the stream, it will be nice. I mean, I'm here and I'm available for a couple of more minutes for you if you want to. So what I was saying is, I think I will be done with this project for now. There are probably a couple of more adjustments that I can do on the CMS UI, like, I don't know, having it a bit more, not intuitive, but having more information or something. Probably we can add some features in the future. And having also, like, not only for projects but for other content types like posts and stuff like that. I don't know. Other than that, I just need to add the projects and to be done with it, to make the website live. And probably I'll have the rest of the week to do so, like tomorrow and Friday, just to finish up the work that I've done here, and or at least for this personal website plus CMS project. And after that, I have another project lined up, which will be a playlist builder, in a sense. So where you can update MP3 files and create playlists, and also will retain the information where you last stopped. Because I have some longer audio files that I want to listen to, and I want to be able to see where I left off and resume, like audiobooks that are not on Audible, or even if they are on Audible, I want to be able to have those books outside of Audible. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of my idea. So before I leave, Felix, do you have any questions? If you didn't leave. Let's pour another sip of coffee. Okay, so see you tomorrow.